Good afternoon, groovy citizens, and happy Winning Wednesday. So, you guys, before I jump into today's topic, I have some good news and I have some bad news. Let me give you the bad news first. I'm pretty sure by now that you all have heard that our beloved soul sister number one, Tina Turner, has passed at the age of 83. And I didn't know that she had been, not that I should know this, but I didn't know that she had been suffering with some medical issues. But yeah, I saw today that she actually had passed away on yesterday. And so my heart just truly aches for her fans, her family, all that knew and loved her. Because when I tell you I love me some Tina Turner, I love me some Tina Turner. I do have some of her music in my playlist. Don't judge me because I don't judge you. But I've always loved her music. And I just, ask that, God allow her to just rest in eternal peace. And she definitely will be missed. So many people loved her. I mean, her music just withstood the test of time, if you will. There were people in her age group that loved her music, my age group, some that are younger, and I mean, she was just an amazing person. So again, condolences to her family, her fans, her friends, and all that knew her. Now, for some good news, y'all, tomorrow's my sister's birthday, and guess what? She will be the big 50. So super excited about that. Tomorrow's my sister's birthday, and yes, I am a little behind. I do need to go out and get her balloons and her card and stuff. I'll do that later on today. When I say later on, I mean like after I do this video, so I can do that and get it over with. Super excited about that. And I'm also excited, you guys, because I have another appointment with my orthopedic doctor tomorrow. So fingers crossed that everything is looking good and I can start to wind down on the physical therapy, because while it is therapeutic, it is quite what's the word I want to use? It hurts. Okay, it does. It hurts, but God is good because I'm thankful that I can get it. Now let's jump into today's topic, which is take charge of your life. Take charge of your life. But the underlying theme of what I want to talk about is stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. I'm going to be very honest with you when I say this. We all make excuses. I have a project right now that I've been giving myself one excuse after the other for not getting on for the last couple of months. And you know what? I am going to get to it. I really am. But right now, I have too many great excuses. That's why I haven't gotten to it. But we all make excuses. So we all made excuses. We've all made excuses before, and some of us continue to make them every now and then. So why do we make excuses? Why do we make excuses? Well, we make them to get out of doing things we don't want to do. And let's just keep it honest. We, a lot of times, make excuses because there are things that we know we need to do, like what I just shared with you, that you know you need to do, you just don't feel like doing it. So you make excuses for why you're not going to do it. So we make them because we are lazy. Sometimes it's just because we're lazy. And we make them because we don't want to step outside of our comfort zone. A lot of times people make excuses when they don't want to step outside of their comfort zone. And there's so many different reasons why people don't want to do that. Our excuses, while they may seem harmless, actually take us further and further away from our intended goal. Not to mention, we will end up missing out on opportunities. How many times have we all made an excuse about doing something and we missed out on a great opportunity? Now, had you known that that opportunity was going to be there, guess what? You wouldn't have made that excuse, would you? No, you wouldn't have. The problem is because you didn't know that that opportunity was going to present itself, you missed out. And that's just life. It truly is. It is life. So if you're ready to stop making excuses, here are some things that you may want to think about doing. I have 6 things and I'll let you be. Number 1, I said stop focusing on past failures. Beating yourself up and focusing on the past is only going to make you feel worse. Instead of beating yourself up, learn from your past so you can do things better in the present. We make so many excuses when we think about our past and how things didn't work out, and we make excuses as to why we don't want to try it again. So instead of you beating yourself up because that thing or those things didn't work out, don't do that, baby. Don't do that. Say to yourself, okay, you know what? That didn't work out the last time, but let's look at how we can fix it and make things better. Because after all, we're supposed to learn from our mistakes, right? Number two, but before I move on, so when you focus on what didn't work out, you're just pushing yourself further and further away from your goal. Think about how many times you could have been at your goal if you stop thinking about the past. Number two, take responsibility for your mistakes. So when you take responsibility for your failures, you'll be able to focus on not repeating those mistakes and learn from them. I am always telling my clients this: you have to take responsibility for your mistakes. We all make them. That's just a part of life. But when you sit and you want to put the blame on everybody else, but you don't look at the part that you played in that mistake, you are prone to repeating it over and over and over again, because you've looked at what everybody else did wrong, but you didn't accept what you did. If I was in a relationship, that relationship didn't work, I can look at the part I played. Now, that doesn't negate what he did, but I can still look at the part that I played, so that when I move on to the next relationship, I don't have to worry about that. But a lot of times people don't. It's all about what they did this, they did that, they did the other. Okay, that's why I always let people talk. I sit back with my little smile, my arms crossed, and I go, now tell me what you did. And people always go, huh? This is the look I get, huh? Yeah, what did you do? I ain't do nothing, which I cannot stand. It's nothing. But I digress. I ain't do nothing. Yeah, you did. Because anytime something doesn't work out, everybody plays a part. Stop focusing on only what they did. Deal with what you did so that you don't repeat the mistake. And that's why some of y'all keep repeating the same mistakes, because you won't accept what you did. You want to point out what other people did. Number three, pick yourself up after you fall. You must pick yourself up and move on. If you don't, you will always be in that dark place. When we talk about taking charge of your life and not making excuses, you can say, well, you know what? I tried. It didn't work out. Whatever that thing may be. Okay, well, you know what? If you don't pick yourself up, dust yourself off and keep moving forward, you're going to stay right where you are. You're never going to go any further than where you are, because you will not pick yourself up and keep it moving. It's just like, y'all remember when you were little, and my mind is going back to when we were at Watkins Park, and you get on it's not a merry-go-round. I guess it's called a merry-go-round. You know how you had to hold on and you had to run to get it going, and then you jump on and you just spin around in a circle till you get dizzy and you try to walk and you fall over. Again, don't judge me, because I don't judge you. But the thing is that even though we wobbled and we fell, we brushed ourselves off, and guess what? We got back up and we started running around that merry-go-round thing again, to do the same thing all over again. You know why? Because we didn't let that fall keep us from having a good time at the park. We got up and we got on the slide. We got on the swing. We got on other things at the park. We didn't let that fall keep us from moving forward. It's just like when you learn how to ride a bike. Everybody failed. If you say you didn't, you're telling a lie, because we all have fallen. I've fallen before. Heck, I got scrapes on my knees right now to show proof that I have fallen before, but I didn't let that keep me from coming out of my house or trying new things. It's life. We have to pick ourselves up and keep moving. Number four, focus on your strengths and then build on them. So when you make excuses, you become negative, and that causes you to focus only on your shortcomings and how inadequate you may or may not be. This will leave you feeling defeated and disheartened. Let me tell you something. Focus on your strengths. I get it. Yeah, we have some shortcomings. We have some weaknesses. But I want you to focus right now take the rest of the day and focus on your strengths. Focus on that and figure out how you can build on it to make it better. Okay, so maybe your strength is in baking. Mine isn't, but maybe your strength is in baking. So you figure out, okay, what do I do well with my baking? And then you figure out, okay, now what can I do to make what I do well, I can bring it up here and make it even better. That's the key. Focus on your strengths. And number 5, I said identify your weaknesses and then work on them. First, you're going to focus on the strengths. Then you identify what your weaknesses are and you work on them. Be honest about your weaknesses so that you can turn them into strengths. Oh, sorry, I have 6. I said that was number 5. But yeah, after you identify, focus on your strengths, then you identify what your weaknesses are so that you can work on them. Now, that is assuming that you want to work on those weaknesses. You should want to. Now, my weakness is cooking. But I'm not interested in really learning how to cook. I do cooking videos for my YouTube channel. I'm not really interested in learning how to cook because guess what? I know enough so that I'm not going to starve. And if it's something that I can't cook, I know how to go out and purchase it. Okay, let's just keep it all the way real. It is what it is. But if that were something that I wanted to focus on, I could. And I could get better at it if I tried. But I'm not interested because, trust me, when you see me, I'm not necessarily a big girl. I'm a thick girl, but I'm not missing any meals, okay? That's all you need to know. Let's move on. Number 6, stop comparing yourself to others. I need you to hear me and hear me good. You are a unique individual, and so is your journey. Can I say that one more time? You are a unique individual. I'm a unique individual. We are unique individuals, and so is the journey that's been given to us. And that's why it's not healthy to compare yourself to other people. Making excuses. I'm sorry, let me stop right there. When you look at somebody else's life and you compare where you are to where they are, and you get frustrated and then you decide, well, I'm just going to give up. That's putting a damper on your life and your self-esteem. God did not give you the same journey that he gave to Kathy or to Meredith or to Jim or to John, whoever those people may be. He just didn't. It may seem like it, but he didn't. So you cannot compare yourself with other people. Like I said, I know that whatever it is that God has given me to do, it's unique to Michelle. Now, you may say, yeah, Michelle, but there are other life coaches. You're right. There are tons of other life coaches. But God did not give them what he's given me. He has not given them the gift that he's given me, just like he hasn't given me the gift that he's given to them. And I'm not trying to be like them. I'm not comparing myself to them. I don't worry about how many clients they have versus how many clients I have, or how many YouTube subscribers somebody has versus what I have. I don't worry about that. I just worry about my own little community. I'm happy for them. Don't get me wrong. I am truly happy for everybody. But I focus on what God has given me to do, what God has assigned Michelle to do. And it's unique to me. Because whatever God has given you to do, I promise you, he said, I'm giving it to you because I know that you can handle it. See, God has given me some things that he hasn't given other people. You know why? Because he knew I could handle it and they couldn't, and vice versa. There are some things I know I don't do well and I can't handle well. So I pray that God will continue not to let them cross my path. Now, at some point, he probably will. But he gives us what he gives us because he knows who can handle what and who's good at what. So stop comparing yourself to other people. Now, here's your takeaway. Making excuses may be a bad habit for you, but remember, all bad habits can be broken. Be patient, stay optimistic, and keep pushing forward. When you have bad habits, no matter what that bad habit may be, it can be broken. You can fix those habits if you truly want to. That's just like the person that smokes and or drinks. You can stop doing both if you truly want to. But it's something that you're going to have to work at. It's something you're really going to have to work at. You can do it, but you've got to put in the work. Now, if you don't truly want to do it, then guess what? You won't. And that's up to you. I'm not here to judge. All I'm saying is be patient, stay optimistic, and keep pushing forward. Don't you give up. Don't you give up. Let me do a quick recap and I'm going to let you be. So I said today's topic is take charge of your life. And that underlying thing is stop making excuses. We're going to stop making excuses starting today. You have something you need to do. I need you to get up and just go do it. Number one, I said stop focusing on past failures, because that will keep you stuck. When you focus on your past failures, it keeps you from going forward, but it keeps you from going backwards as well. Number two, I said take responsibility for your mistakes. Stop always wanting to point out what other people said and did, and focus on what you said and did. Number three, pick yourself up after you fall. We're all going to fall in life. We all have fallen. Some people are falling right now, and we will fall in the future several more times before the good Lord sees fit to take us on away from here. And it's all right. It's not a bad thing, because we learn when we fall, do we not? Have you not fallen and you didn't learn something? If you didn't, that's a whole nother video for a whole nother time. But more times than not, when we fall, we learn something every time. You learn who you can trust and who you can't trust. You learn what you should do and what you shouldn't do. You learn what you should say and what you shouldn't say. And all of that other good stuff. But you're learning something. Number four, focus on your strengths and then build on them. Get out. This is where your journal comes into play. Get out your journal. Write down your strengths and start to build on those strengths. Number five, I said identify your weaknesses and then you work on them. See, because when you build up your weaknesses, that makes you stronger in that area. Now, if you don't want to work on it, that's absolutely fine. But if you have a weakness and it's something that you want to be good at, identify what that is. Maybe your weakness is being too trusting. Now, I'm not saying go through life side-eyeing everybody. I'm not saying to do that, but that might be something that you need to work on. You might get hurt because you're too trusting with people, and you believe in people. I know that's been a kind of a sore spot in my life, where I believe in people, and I believe in them more than they believe in themselves. And there have been times when I have been kind of sucker punched, if you will. I didn't see something coming, but it's okay. It's okay. God just says, all right, Michelle, that's a weakness that you have that we need to work on. Again, I'm not saying side-eyeing everybody, but you do need to be a little bit more cautious when it comes to people, and stop trusting everybody and stop believing in everybody, okay? And then number six, I said, stop comparing yourself to other people. You don't know Susie's journey. You don't know Craig's journey. And I don't know who they are, and it doesn't even matter, but you don't know their journey. And whatever God gave them, he didn't give it to you. Just like whatever he gave to you, he didn't give to them. So stop comparing yourself to other people. Because again, I've talked about this before. When you see people on social media either driving something, living someplace, wearing something, or whatever the case may be, your mind says, wow, they have all of that. But you don't know the backstory. You don't know that they had to go through hell and high water to get what they have. All you see is the outcome, but you don't see what they had to go through. So be careful about comparing yourself to other people. That's just like, case in point, I started this video off telling you all that Tina Turner had passed away. I said, by now you probably know that. But many of you see that she's had a very lucrative career. And she's worked with some great people and worked on some great projects. But you don't know her backstory. You don't know the years she had to put up with an abusive husband, both physically and mentally. If you saw her movie, What's Love Got to Do with It, then you got to see that. And if you were around back in that time, back in the 60s, I was not, then you got to see those things as well. But other than that, somebody today may say, oh, you know what, she had it good. But you don't know the things that she had to deal with. See, because when you went home to your house, you didn't see the stuff that she had to put up with in her home. So that's why I say be careful about comparing yourself to other people. And then I left you with this. Making excuses may be a bad habit for you, but remember, all bad habits can be broken. If you have a bad habit of constantly making excuses, you can get past that. It's going to take some work. And you're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to stay optimistic, and you have to keep pushing forward. Nothing, and I repeat, nothing is too hard for the God that I serve. Nothing is. Anything that you want to overcome, as the song says, take it to the Lord and leave it there. That's what you need to do. Take it to the Lord and leave it there. Listen, y'all, that's it. That's my time. I want to say thank you so much for giving me just a few minutes of your time to speak life into you. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I do car conversations every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So make sure you come back on Friday for another motivational topic. If this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. Y'all know I miss you and I don't get a chance to see you. Go out there. Enjoy the rest of your evening. It is 85 degrees. It's a little on the humid side. So I had my air conditioning going, so hopefully my fan wasn't too loud. But it is a little on the warm side. But go out there, enjoy the rest of your evening. If you're going out, and even if you're going to be home, do so safely. Whatever you do, I just want you all to be safe, okay? Again, we are living in some rough times where people are doing basic everyday things and getting shot and or killed. So please, please, please be careful about where you're going, who you're hanging out with, the neighborhoods you choose to hang out with. And to be honest with you, you can't even really say that anymore, because it seems like even some of the best neighborhoods are having problems. Schools are having problems. So just be careful. And as I always like to remind you, if you go someplace, don't you leave with somebody that you didn't come with. If you didn't come with them, you don't leave with them. You leave the same way you came. You came by yourself, you leave by yourself. But always pay attention to what's going on around you, okay? That's it, you guys. I love you all. You know the drill, you know the spill. I love you to the moon and back, and there is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing that you can ever do. Why is my face itching? That you can ever do about it, because I love you all. I want nothing but the best for you. I know you can win. You are winners. I know you can win. So go out there and be the winners that I know that you are, and stop making excuses. Can we agree that we're going to stop making excuses and we're going to live life to the fullest? Because life is so precious. So we're going to stop making excuses. Listen, love you all, and we'll talk again on Friday.